I call the Honourable Mr Sims.
Thank you, Mr President. I move notice of motion private business number 4 standing in my name.
Is that seconded? Seconded. The Honourable Mr Sims.
Thank you, Mr President. This is a motion to establish a select committee of the Legislative Council to inquire and report into the privatisation of services here in South Australia. With South Australia now one of the most privatised states in the country, we need a wide-ranging inquiry into the impact of almost 3 decades of privatisation. From the sale of our water supply and electricity services to the complete debacle that is our public transport system, it is clear that private profits have been put before the public good and before quality public services. And it's clear that a number of members of the community, a vast majority of people in the community, are concerned about what is happening when it comes to the privatisation of their essential services. Research from the Australia Institute back in 2019 found that 40% of South Australians blame privatisation of our state's owned electricity provider as the single biggest reason for power price increases, and 3 out of 5% of people, 60%, consider it to be one of the main sources of upward pressure on prices. This report also found that price gouging from energy companies was the #1 concern for 1 out of 3 of every South Australians, 34%. Privatisation has become an ideological hobby horse pursued by both sides of politics at different times, and it's often been packaged up and sold to the public as something that is actually going to deliver improved services to the community. Well, could anybody actually say that the privatisation of ETSA was a success? Could anybody actually say that the privatisation of our public transport system has been a success? The results speak for themselves. The sale of ETSA didn't see a reduction in our electricity costs. Instead, it was a monumental failure that has delivered us higher prices. The privatisation of our public transport network certainly didn't result in improved services. Instead, it resulted in cuts and a slash-and-burn approach to some of our most vulnerable communities. Now, I had a look in preparing for today, Mr President, into some of the examples of privatisation that have unfolded over the 30-year history of this experiment in South Australia. And I must say I was stunned by the length of the list and the number of important utilities and public services that have been sold off at great expense to the South Australian taxpayer in terms of the quality of the services that they receive. In 1992, we saw the sale of the SA Gas Company. In 1993, the SA Financial Trust. 1994, State Bank of South Australia. 1994, Austrust Trustees. 1994, Enterprise Investments. There was a real fire sale happening in 1994. 1994, Island Seaway, ferry to Kangaroo Island. 1995, Pipelines Authority of SA. 1995, Sign Services. 1995, State Government Insurance Commission. Keep on selling it all off, it's all got to go. 1995, the State Bank of SA. 1995, the State Chemistry Laboratories. 1995, the State Clothing Corporation. 1996, Radio 5AA. 1996, Samcor Meatworks. 1996, Furwood Products, Timber. 1997, Port Bulk Handling Facilities. 1999, ETSA. And we all know what happened there. 1999, the Central Linen Service. 2000, the Torrens Island Power Station. 2000, Electronet. 2001, the South Australian Totalisation Agency Board, or the SATAB. 2002, the SA Ports Corporation. 2012, the SA Lotteries Master Agent. 2012, Forestry SA. 2019, the Motor Accident Commission. That was an investment portfolio. And 2017, Land Services, the Land Titles Office. It's a long list. And sadly, we know that it's a list that is going to be added to in the years ahead with the privatisation of our train network and the appalling consequences that would flow for that. And so really this inquiry, Mr President, is seeking to look at the implications of these privatisations, the impact that this has on the services made available to the people of South Australia and the impact that this has on the workers in those industries.